What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Wednesday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt, my Twitter account to follow me. This podcast being brought to you by our great friends at omahasteaks.com with the promo code JUICE. Gets you $30 off a qualifying order at Omaha Steaks right now for Father's Day. I know you might say, Matt, it's only May 31st. It's coming up quickly. This is how you get to support the podcast. Juice, promo code at omahasteaks.com. More on them here in just 1 second. All right, a 1-2 night last night. Really, for me, 1-3, because the A's, what is going on with the Atlanta Braves? They've now lost back-to-back games. The A's have 12 wins. This is not allowed. We're not allowed to let the A's get hot. What's going on here? Yes, am I betting the A's against the A's tonight? Of course. Run line, minus 135, 1.35 units, unofficial. But now we're 7-5, up 1.25 units. So we lose tonight, and we're in the red for this experiment of betting against the A's every night on the run line. It was going to go up and down. It's an experiment. You know, if it gets really nasty, maybe I'll stop. But right now, there's no reason to stop. Braves can't get swept, can they? Whoa. Okay. So I think this is the third game. It might be a 4-game series, but regardless, lose 3 games in a row to the Oakland A's. They had 11 wins. They had 10 wins going into this series. Okay. So what are we doing today? I'm going to give you 2 futures. I'm going to bet the World Series. I'm going to bet the Stanley Cup, and I'm going to bet the NBA Finals. I'm going to explain the Stanley Cup bet here in just 1 second, and I'm going to explain why I'm betting what I'm betting for the NBA Finals here as well as one bet in baseball today. Today is the kind of day where I would probably not be betting anything today, but I will have 2 baseball plays in play actually for today, just because I got a lot of stuff going on, and it's one of those days where I don't love the card. It's just baseball. We've got a lot coming up here with the NBA Finals, and we've got the Stanley Cup Finals and everything else coming at us very soon. So we'll obviously have plays in Game 1 on Thursday, and then we'll get into the NHL Finals here with the game in Vegas. So all that stuff still to come. But before we do anything else, let me tell you about our friends at omahasteaks.com. Father's Day, okay? So when you go to omahasteaks.com, that promo code JUICE, get you $30 off a qualifying offer. Minimum order may be required. But when you go through the whole menu of everything they got, they have so many things. I can't even tell you everything. I just want you to go to the website. You have a homework assignment. Go to the website. Check it out. See if there's anything there you might like for yourself, your dad, your uncle, your neighbor, your friend, someone who's far away, someone you haven't talked to in a long time, and send it to them. It comes in this really cool box, this cooler. It's got dry ice on the bottom. It's easy. You can hang on to the cooler and use it for something else. It's a cool thing for the lake. It floats. It's styrofoam. So you go check it out. See all the food, all the different packages, all the different things you can order. There might be something you really like. And then if you really like it, $30 off, JUICE, the promo code, at checkout for a qualifying order. Minimum purchase may be required. See the site for details. But $30 off, promo code JUICE at omahasteaks.com. All right, before we give you the picks, though, this is a reminder about syncing your bets with BettingPros and the BettingPros app. Download the free BettingPros app for iOS or Android. Sync your sportsbooks in less than a minute to automatically track your bets across all sportsbooks in one spot. After syncing, you'll enjoy access to detailed bet analytics by sport and by bet type, including game picks, props, and parlays. You'll also get insights and personalized recommendations for props, game picks, and more tailored to your interest plays. To enjoy the benefits of Sportsbook Sync, download the BettingPros app by visiting bettingpros.com/apps or by searching BettingPros in the App Store. All right, let's start with the NBA Finals, and then we'll get to the Stanley Cup because the NBA Finals starts earlier, so you need to get this bet in early, okay? DraftKings has this at the best price. Vegas is pretty expensive. Some books in Vegas are already at minus 190. You get a 30-cent break at DraftKings to bet this at DraftKings. I do a little work, got it down on DraftKings. The Golden Nuggets, the Denver Nuggets, it is golden, I guess. The Denver Nuggets, minus 1.5 games to win the NBA championship is minus 160. 1.6 units down on this play. Why? Okay, here's why. This bet says Denver wins it all. Denver, it's come down a little bit. It was minus 480 at some places. Now it's down to $4. DraftKings at least is seeing quite a bit of Miami money. So they're down to $4. That's still a monster favorite. Okay. I was doing this. This is what came up on my other show. Some stats that are worth paying attention to here that are actually kind of crazy. All right. Here, the Pistons were plus 500 in 2004. And they beat the Lakers. The next highest odds to win a championship were the Raptors at plus 230 in 2018, 2019. The Bucks were plus 160 in 2021. Only 13 underdogs have won the NBA title since 1972. However, dogs have won 5 of the last 12. So 7-5 for the favorites over the last 12 NBA championships. So in recent times, the dogs have fared better, but they've never been anywhere near the Pistons at 5-1 return to beat the Lakers in 2004, plus 230 in 2018, 19 for the Raptors. The Cavaliers in 2015 and 16 were plus 160. So were the Bucks at plus 160 at 20 in the year 2020 and 2021. Okay, year after the bubble. You shop around, you start looking at some of the prices here for the Miami Heat. And yes, you could say, Matt, history doesn't matter to the Heat. Eric Spoelstra is an incredible coach. Jimmy Butler's on a mission. He might be, okay? And Miami might even win game 1 because Denver might be really, rusty. It's possible. I don't think so, but it's possible. But we're talking about a team that's plus 310. I just gave you those stats. This would be the second biggest upset in NBA history, at least in recent history, in terms of catching $3, over $3. Some books, $3.50 for the Miami Heat. Denver has rest, they have coaching, they have preparation, and they have Jokic. Explain to me who is stopping Nikola Jokic for the Miami Heat. This was the problem I said for Boston, too. Boston was going to have no answer for Jokic either. And you might go, Matt, let them have, let Jokic get his. Stop everybody else. It's not that easy. Denver's really deep. They got a bench with Brown who can come off and score. Michael Porter Jr. is playing really well. You got Jamal Murray who can go off for 40 in any given game. He can go off. It's what Boston didn't have. If Boston had a real Robin, then that game 7 could have gone differently. But they didn't. Derek White's a great player, but he's nowhere near what he needs to be. He's not Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray can be, a top 10 scorer in the league when he's really hot. And he's been really hot. I don't think this series is going to be very close. This bet basically says that Denver won't go to a game 7. They'll win the title, and they'll do it within 6 games, minus 1.5 games. It's 160, 1.6 units down. The Denver Nuggets to win the championship, to get their first ever title in their first ever run, to beat the Miami Heat. Denver, minus 1.5 games at minus 160. It's minus 400 if you want to bet them to go to 7 games. But we get the 4, that's a sweep, that counts. 5, that's good. Or 6, that's good here with this bet. Denver in 4, Denver in 5, Denver in 6. The only thing it doesn't cover is Denver in 7. Okay? Denver in 7, we lose 1.6 units. Okay? Official bet, Denver to win the NBA title inside of 6 games. No 7th game for that. Now, the other bet for the NHL is a little more sticky, okay? So I have a Panthers over Golden Knights exacta that I bought after the first round of the playoffs. It's 48.5 to 1. All right? So while I'm betting the Vegas Golden Knights to win the Stanley Cup, it doesn't matter to me who wins, all right? I have a monster return if we see a win for the Florida Panthers. It was not official, although I did post it on the Discord channel, so some of you may have this ticket. And if you do, you can talk to me. We can explain. I can talk to you what I'm doing to kind of play off of it. But I'm going to guarantee that I make money, okay? So while officially I'm taking the Vegas Golden Knights at minus 122 to win the Stanley Cup, I will be betting way more than that. way more than 1 unit coming in. Multiple units on the Golden Knights. I'm going to cover every bet I made, all the dollars. I'm going to cover it all that I bet for the exactas, and I want to guarantee myself making money. All right. So at plus 40, at 48 to 1, 48 and a half to 1, plus 48.50 is what the ticket is. I'm in a really good spot. Okay. So do I think Vegas wins? Yes, I do, but it's going to be tough. It might be a 7-game series. It's going to be really hard. The Panthers are a very good hockey team, and they are playing extremely well right now. Vegas is kind of like the Boston Celtics. Some nights, they look incredible, like they won 6-0 against Dallas. Other nights, they look awful, and they get torched. I like that Vegas has home ice, but Vegas is really good on the road. Vegas in game 1, it's going to be a really interesting matchup. Vegas won't be pushed around. Their blue line very well could be the difference. Pietrangelo and company, they have a big physical defensive core that will give this Panther team fits. They won't get pushed around the way that Toronto was or the way that the Bruins got late. I don't think the Panthers will be able to dictate 5-on-5 the way they did against Boston. I don't think they'll get the same scoring opportunities that they did against Carolina. I think Vegas has the goaltending right now with Aiden Hill playing extremely well, even with a 5th goaltender of the year. He's playing great, and I'm not positive that Bobrovsky's not going to be ice after sitting for 9 days. That's a long time to sit for a guy at his age with how well he was playing. I'm not positive that Bobrovsky is going to be the same playoff Bob that we've seen. I think he could be. I mean, look, Hill just beat Ottinger for Dallas, which was incredible. Didn't think that was going to happen. Vegas to win their first ever Stanley Cup. The original 3 guys, Marchessault and William Karlsson, these guys, Carrier, these guys have been here all 6 years. These guys get the job done. They missed it in year 1. They're going to get it in year 6 to win Lord Stanley's Cup. The Las Vegas market is going to have a Big 4 champion. Now, 1.22 units down on this. Again, I'm betting totally differently on this. I will have multiple units on Vegas because I've got a big return coming back on Florida. I don't care who wins. So if you don't want to bet this, that's fine. But I do think Vegas is going to win. Okay. So with that stated, you can parlay the 2 bets I just talked about or just take Denver on the money line. A Denver championship ticket parlayed with a Vegas championship ticket is a plus 125 return at DraftKings. It's a pretty good bet. Plus 125. If you don't want to put out the multiple units, if you don't want to lay 1.6 units on Denver, you don't want to lay the 1.2 units on the Golden Knights, and you just want to go ahead and take Vegas and Denver to win, parlay it together, you get plus money at plus 125. I feel very good about Denver. I do not love the Golden Knights play. Okay, Vegas is going to have their hands full, and that's the leg that could cost us. I don't think Miami's beating Denver, okay? I would be very, very surprised. Miami has been doubted the entire time, but to go from the play-in to the title would be one of the more improbable runs in the history of sports, let alone the NBA. Denver is sitting there and waiting. It feels like the NCAA tournament, like with Butler or George Mason, or you just go up against a really talented, tough team that's ready to go, and that they're not going to be caught by surprise. They see you coming. They respect you. They can break you down. They know what to expect. I don't think Caleb Martin's going to beat the Denver Nuggets, okay? I don't think that you're going to see Vincent and company shoot the same way. I think defensively, Denver will be out there on the shooters, and then getting to the rim with Jokic there is going to be a real problem. And on the offensive end, I don't think they can stop Jokic. I mean, there's a prop right now out there for him to average a triple-double, and you're laying juice on it. For him to average a triple-double every game in this series. Too tough. I'll make the bet unofficial. I'll make it myself, but I'm telling you that's a play I like at plus 125. Okay, but officially, it's the Golden Knights to win the Stanley Cup at minus 122, 1.22 units down on that, and the Denver Nuggets laying 1.5 games. So Denver by 4, 5, or 6 at minus 160 for 1.6 units down on that. Now, just so we have something in play. Again, you can bet the A's and the Braves, if you want. Braves on the run line is minus 135. I am betting that, but that's an unofficial play. If you want some extra action, you can bet that and say what's going on with the Braves. But officially, the Boston Red Sox are now the number one team at home in baseball to the over. They are 19-7-1 to the over at home. Cincinnati, when they are on the road, they are now the 7th best team on the road to the over. 9-7 walk-off grand slam yesterday, right? I believe it was by the Reds against the Red Sox. 9-8 final, 17 runs were scored in that game. Yeah, grand slam. So there you go. 5 runs in the ninth, grand slam in the ninth inning. Just a horrific way for the Red Sox. If you were on the Red Sox money line last night, oh my gosh. They entered the ninth inning leading. I mean, I don't know how to even say this. They entered the ninth inning up 9-3. That was the Red Sox that came back and made it a game. Oh, I thought they blew it. Okay, sorry. I flipped it around. 9-8 was the final, but the Red Sox were able to score a ton of runs in the ninth inning. They were down 9-3 entering the ninth. They scored 5 runs and lost 9-8. So if you were on the Reds run line, reverse run line, I guess, because the Red Sox were favored, that would have been, that was brutal. That's a tough loss for the Red Sox to come all the way back and then not get there. But game went way over, obviously. Total is 10. These pitchers going for the Red Sox and the Reds, not exactly a barn-burning pitching matchup we are expecting here between these two teams. We have Luke Weaver and James Paxton. Luke Weaver is 1-2 with a 5.45 ERA. James Paxton's 1-1 with a 5.14 ERA. Left-handed pitching Paxton. Lefties at Fenway Park are always scary. I mean, always scary at Fenway Park when there's a left-handed starter. At home, Paxton's been better. He's only pitched 1 game at home. Gave up 2 earned runs in 5 innings worth of work. Not a huge sample size to talk about here, but on the other side, we've got this Red Sox lineup that's starting to come around, starting to score runs. They scored 8 runs yesterday. Just the way the Red Sox play right now, in particular at home, weather is warming up in New England, and we're starting to see offense being, generated by an offense that is still one of the best in baseball. On the road, Luke Weaver has a 5.17 ERA, opposing batting average of .313. Red Sox team total might be a good bet as well here in this game. Our first 5 team total over for the Red Sox here against Luke Weaver. Again, it's, he's a righty, but 5.17, 0-2 on the year, 9 earned runs and 15 2/3 worth of work. .313 opposing batting average. Red Sox should score. I'm going to play the over for both teams. Red Sox bullpen to give up some runs. Over 10 is minus 120. Reds and the Red Sox over 10, 1.2 units down on this one. Expecting a high-scoring game again at Fenway Park after this. I'll say this. The Red Sox at home over will be a trend that I'm going to look to follow. I'm going to look to start to bet this here. I mean, 19-7-1 is 73% of the time the Red Sox games are going over at home. We're going to start to look to bet this with the Red Sox. Maybe not blindly, but in spots that make a lot of sense, we'll start to do this just because the schedule is going to start to come around for some teams that can score, and the Red Sox offense is starting to look a little bit more, look better. I mean, after Cincinnati, the offense for the Rays comes in, even though the Rays have kind of gone to sleep. I don't know what happened against the Cubs. They've scored 1 run in 2 games against the Cubs. What's going on with the Rays? But they'll score against Boston because they always do. That's a 4-gamer. Every one of those games could go over against Tampa. Then Boston's on the road against Cleveland. Then they're on the road against New York. Those games could all go over, although those are on the road. They come back home against Colorado, and then the Yankees come into town. So Red Sox at home right now going over will be something that every night we're going to take a look at. We may start to bet those games consistently here. For tonight, for sure. 1.2 units down officially. Red Sox over 10 up against the Reds. Red Sox and the Reds tonight. Only one play officially going tonight. But again, Knights to win the Stanley Cup. Minus 122, 1.22 units down on that. And the Nuggets laying 1.5 games at minus 160, 1.6 units down on that. if you want extra action, obviously the Braves on the run line as well. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning, it is the Daily Juice podcast being brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com.